Today we're looking at the Ueevii Wi-Fi bridge, and what this is really an incredible way to move your Wi-Fi signal over a very large distance. But I'm going to be installing this, and then I will show you how easily it installs, and then we'll test it out as far as its distance and Wi-Fi capabilities. So this Ueevii kit provides you with 3 devices which are going to connect and going to give you internet Wi-Fi outside at a pretty good distance. Actually, a very impressive distance. So the central point, this kit comes with an indoor router, 6 antenna that are going to give you what you need. Your internet connection is going to go in, and then you're going to have, this will give you good coverage inside your house. And then you're going to wire one of these bridges, and it's going to speak to the other bridge. It's going to send a radio Wi-Fi signal. It says up to 3 kilometers of distance to give you. And what you're going to get then is at your B side, the receiving side, you're going to be able to connect to the internet. And that could be a great distance from your house. So Ueevii sent me this kit to check out, and I'm going to show you what we found out with it, how it installs, and what the results are here. This is model 5824. There are a couple different versions of these at their Amazon store that you may want to check out. Another extension cord. Oh, little knot here. For my own house, we get a really good Wi-Fi signal inside. I have a mesh system that's set up and been using for a long time, but it gets weaker the further you get out from the house. So as you go toward the road or toward the back of my property, then it's harder to get Wi-Fi. If I'm going to set up something here in the back of my garage or anywhere along my back fence line, I don't have a big lot. I don't have a lot of property. I live in the city, and I live around other people, lots of houses, and I actually see lots of other people's Wi-Fi signals on my Wi-Fi possibilities. But getting my own Wi-Fi extended with this product was a neat little experiment. And so what you get in the box with this kit are the things you see here, the 3 devices, the indoor router, and then the 2 bridges that go outside. You get the power connectors for it, and you get a few Ethernet cables. Now you're going to need a longer Ethernet cable or 2 or 3 to make these connections, because you need to put these at a pretty good distance away, and your plug is going to need to go in a dry space. But these are weather rated IP65, and so you mount them outdoors, and then the Ethernet cable comes into each of these as a power source and as an internet source for your A. So there are 2. The A bridge is what you're going to connect near your home. You're going to connect it to the router and then power it up. And then the B bridge is going to be connected at a distance further away. Both then will have a number that you're going to set inside, and they have to be on the same channel, kind of like 2-way radios. So for them to communicate, they have to be connected together and transmit the signal. And so they're kind of directional. You want it to point the direction that you're sending the signal, and the receiver needs to point at the other one. Now, it doesn't have to be, I don't think it has to be exact, but the more direct they are, the better it's going to perform. So the setup was fairly straightforward. As you see, it only took me a few minutes to do my connections, getting the router up and running. There were passwords involved that they give you for each, and then you can change the password for the router. The devices can be connected on these various channels, and then each channel actually has its own password. So that's what threw me a bit to start with, is I was trying to enter a generic password, and the router actually needed a specific password based on the channel I was using. So once I got through those configurations, there are other configurations that are possible with these. If you wanted to do a few fancier things, they are very capable. Mine was a very basic setup just to see how well they did in transferring the signal, creating a Wi-Fi point far away from my house. So again, I live in the city, I live in a neighborhood with houses, so my test was a little different, but I pointed bridge A, up the street. And then I put bridge B in my car. So I plugged it into the power outlet in my car with its Ethernet, power over Ethernet cable, and then I mounted it so it would receive the signal. And this is not optimal, I know, but it was a neat way to test this out. And then I'm going to drive up the street here. So I think I have it correctly connected now. And I had some trouble logging in, as I might have already said, but now I think I have all that correct. So I'm making a little trip out to see if I can get a signal and what to make of it. So if this is my typical Wi-Fi circle around my house, here is what it looked like when I went up the street. I'm getting a signal roughly 500 feet away from my house. Let's call it 150 or so meters, and the signal was really strong. I think if I had been able to continue on a straight line further away, I would have gotten a signal there. So I really do not doubt the distances that they report. I pointed it then in a different direction down the street and did the same test. So my dog accompanied me. She was going to be my camera person, but she didn't do much in terms of camera help. But anyway, we got down the street, and about 400 feet down this way, I was getting a very strong signal, 120 or so meters. And again, the bars on the receiving bridge were lit up all the way, so I have no doubt, again, I could have gone a lot further and been able to make that connection. So, I was limited to my own neighborhood as an experiment for this. My speeds, they were good. They were good enough that I had cellular turned off on my phone, but I could easily open web pages, I could easily do videos, and had no problems there. Let me clarify here that this product is not just a Wi-Fi extender, so it's not just going to take your Wi-Fi boundaries and push them out in every direction. So don't be mistaken there. It's a bridge that transports your Wi-Fi to one other location. And as shown in the diagram here from the manual, you could actually set up a second router through the receiver at your second location. So if you had this feeding to a second building, then you could set up a router there to further distribute the Wi-Fi to devices you want to connect there. This product's going to be a great addition for anybody looking to extend things on their home. If you use Starlink, it connects just like anything else. All you need is an internet connection to start with, and then your routers are going to be a Wi-Fi distributor throughout your house or property, and that's what you get here. So check the link below if you're interested. So I hope this was helpful, a helpful look at this product, and just to consider if you're in the market for something like this, I think this is a serious one to look at. Thanks for watching.